Hey everybody, it's Sean with Into One Music, and it is another recording day. Becky and I are very happy with the progress that we've made on the record so far, but we thought we'd give you a little picture into what we do each week. So, this week, electric guitar, and as you can hear right now, it sounds like an electric guitar. Well, how do we do that? We're going to show you. Here we go. Alright, so when I'm up here rehearsing for something, this is where my amp and my pedal board would normally be, but as you can see, it is empty. In fact, the guitar is plugged into this cable. The cable goes there, and it plugs straight into here. I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of dark. So, as you were hearing earlier, we get some pretty cool guitar sounds. So the question is, how do we do that without an amp? Well, we're going to show you. Alright, so right now we have an empty track open, and we are going to pretend like we're recording a new song. So I've got the guitar plugged in, and right now, before we do anything, here's what it sounds like. Sounds like a guitar not plugged into anything. So what we're going to do is open up this software by Line 6 called PodFarm, and as you can see, there we go. You can see some amps and some other fun things. And so now this is what it sounds like. Okay, so this is what makes our guitar sound like a guitar. So what we can do, we can pick from a whole bunch of different amps. I mean, we can just scroll through amp, 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 amp. So many amps to choose from. How do we choose? I don't know, but we do something different every week. So we have amps, we have different bass amps for when we do bass guitars, different preamps, which every once in a while I use on vocals, even different cabinets for the amps, so we can pretend like they're different speakers. Distortion and overdrive pedals, compressor pedals, modulation and pedals. There's just all sorts of good stuff here. So this obviously takes a little bit of a knowledge of guitars to be able to do. Luckily, I'm a guitarist, so I know a little what I'm talking about. And this is one of the presets that I use. It's just a relatively clean sound. Okay, so let's record a new track. I get rid of that for a second. It's still on, so that I can hear it when I'm recording it. So we're recording right now, and you'll be able to see something happening here. Okay, so we've now recorded a guitar track. But what's interesting is if I were to play it right now, it does not sound like when we recorded it. And that's because we open up PodFarm to give us an idea of what it sounds like while we're recording it, but we actually record a completely clean signal into Cubase. So once we've recorded it, we go into our effects, pick Line 6 PodFarm, and it opens up a very familiar window, and it gives you some ideas of what this sounds like. So we can choose from any one of these many presets. I'll give you an idea of what some of these sound like. Let's play this. Some of them are just completely over the top. So we just chose from a whole bunch of different presets. But what I'm going to do now is build a tone from scratch. So I'm going to pick a guitar amp. The amp that I use is a 1965 reissue Fender Twin Reverb. And this amp in particular right here is supposed to emulate that. And then if I double click on it, I can adjust all the components. So I'm going to keep it completely clean, turn the volume all the way up, turn the presence. I'm going to put this at the exact same preferences that I use. So bass at 6, middle at 3, treble at 5.5, the presence at around 4, and when I have a real amp, I can't actually have the volume to 10, but that's what we're going to do. And then the cabinet we're going to use, we're going to go to the cabinet next. I could use the stock cabinet here, but it's only a 1x12, and I have a 2x12 cabinet when I play, so I'm going to take a 2x12 cabinet. We take a look at it, and I can even pick the microphone that I want to use. So an SM57 on axis, 57 off axis, a 421 dynamic, I think it's AKG that makes that, and then a 67 condenser. I'm going to pick the SM57, and I can even choose where in the room the amp is. So all the way back, all the way forward, or somewhere in the middle. Okay, so now this is what this is going to sound like. Let's play it. Here we go. Okay, that actually sounds relatively similar to the amp that I have, but one thing that's missing is reverb, and this is a spring reverb emulator. So now this is what it sounds like. That actually sounds surprisingly similar to some of the stuff that I got. So now we're going to put a delay in it. This is a emulation of a Deluxe Memory Man. It's relatively similar, and I can either choose how many milliseconds the delay is, or actually I can actually sync it up to the tempo of a song that we're doing. But since I don't have a tempo track, I can't do that. So I'm going to turn the feedback a little about halfway, a little bit ways in the mix, put some modulation in it. So now this is what this sounds like with some delay. Okay, and now I'm going to add one more thing to it. I'm going to put a little bit of overdrive on it. I normally actually just use the amp models to do this, but I want to give you an idea of what this looks like. So this is a model of a Tube Screamer, which is a very, very much loved pedal. I'm going to pull the gain and the tone down, and it's just going to have a little bit of dirt on it. So this is what this sounds like now. So we have built some guitar tone here. Now usually what I will do is actually run it in stereo. So I'll run two different types of amps sometimes. For this time I'll just change the microphone. I'm going to change the delay unit out on one of them, put a different delay on. So we'll get rid of that. And I'll take the overdrive off of that. So now it's going to sound a little bit louder, a little fuller. And if I go to the mixer here, I'm going to put one amp all the way to the left, one amp all the way to the right, and this is what it now sounds like. And now just as a reminder of what it sounded like before the effects. That might have been a little bit loud. So that is how we do electric guitar. So we have a wonderful Fender Stratocaster, Line 6 Pod Farm 2, Cubase Artist 6, and that is how we do electric guitars. Thanks for watching. We'll have some more videos coming up in this next coming week. And like I said, when we get to 100 likes on Facebook, we'll put some brand new music out. So like us on Facebook, like us on SoundCloud, on YouTube, everywhere that you can hear and see us. We would love to see your participation. Thank you very much and have a fantastic day.